now tuned in with HTG.
What's up guys, welcome back. Today I'm doing another video on my new phone, the Redmagic 10 Pro. Now this phone right here comes in different variances. The one that I got is 1 terabyte internal storage, 24 gigs of RAM. So it's a top of the line model. I believe it only comes in this color here, but it's pretty dope. So just a little background story. I had the Redmagic 8 Pro, I had the Redmagic 9 Pro, which I've been using for over a year, and now I just switched up to the Redmagic 10. So I'm a huge fan of these phones. I know what to expect with these phones, and I can tell you what the biggest difference are between the two, because if you're coming from a 9 and you're thinking about getting the 10, you probably want to know, is it really worth it? Is it that much of an improvement? Because the phones look almost identical, unless, except for some small features, really it's very similar. But I'm gonna tell you guys what I like about this phone and what I miss about the 9 and all that good stuff. So first we're gonna start with the packaging of the phone. So this phone here came with the same charger as last year, which is an 80-watt charger, which is nice. But this one here actually charges up to 100 watts, so you could charge faster. Now right now, I'm gonna tell you guys straight up, between the 9 and the 10, the 9 does charge a lot faster. From 0 to 100, I feel like you could get there a lot faster. It could be for a couple different things. So first of all, this phone here has a bigger battery, right? So it's about 500 milliamp. It's difference. The 9 was 6500 milliamp. This one here is 750 milliamp. So that might have a factor into why it takes a little bit longer to charge from 0 to 100. But really, I think it's the new battery system that they got in it. They're using a different kind of battery that's slimmer, and that's why they were able to add a little bit more juice to the battery. Now, I'm sure that if you plug it in with a 100-watt fast charger, that would probably keep up or even charge faster. But right now, with the 80-watt that comes out of the box, it still charges pretty fast. You could still get from 0 to 100 within less than an hour. But the Redmagic 9 was awesome. I literally never charged my phone, and then I would just let it sit on the charger for maybe like 20 minutes and then pull it out like maybe once a day. Alright guys, so another thing that the phone came with is this this included case. Now they did a lot better job than last year. Last year they gave you this clear plastic piece that just looks like would break. Now this here, don't get me wrong, it's not top of the line either, but they put this soft gel feel on the top, and then inside obviously it's plastic. If you bend it in half, you will still crack it. It's very minimalist. It's like a frost glass, so once you put it on, you could still kind of see the LEDs, but it's a lot better than last year's. But again, this isn't something I would recommend for you to put on your phone for everyday use. I think this is just something that you keep on it until you get the case that you want, right? As you guys can see right now, I already have a case for it. Make sure when you guys shop online for these cases that you guys look for the Redmagic 10 cases, because even though the Redmagic 9 is very similar in shape, size, and design, there are small differences that doesn't really make the cases interchangeable. Now, this is more a review about the phone, so I won't go too much into the case. I actually just have it on there because I wanted to keep the fingerprints off of it for when I show you guys the design of the phone. So this case here though, I got on eBay. It's pretty good. It's a flexible kind of case. It's made out of gummies, gel on the side, and then it's like a hard plastic back in the back. Gives it decent protection. I really like it because it actually it gives the phone transparency, so you could really check out the design of the phone. Just kind of wanted to show you guys the differences between the Redmagic 10 and the Redmagic 9. This here is a case that I had on my Redmagic 9 Pro. And as you can see, it fits fine, right? So this will get you by until you get an actual case for it, because everything lines up. Maybe the volume button's a little bit off, but it still works the way that it should. Here there's supposed to be a microphone hole. It's actually off-centered. See how it's here on the 10 and it's supposed to be here on the 9, so that's one thing that you're not going to be able to do. And then also right here, if you look at the sensor and the flash, 2 megapixel sensor and the flash, that's also not lined up properly. So this is why you have to make sure that when you do get a case for this phone, that it's for the 10, not for the 9. Alright, now aside from that, everything else is lined up. Fans lined up, microphone up here is lined up. These are the speakers, IR blaster, so infrared blaster. You can program your remote to you can program for this to be a remote for your TV. You know, 3mm headphone jack. Still got the touch capacitive trigger shoulder buttons. But anyways, so aside from that, same height, same width, same dimensions as the 9. Alright, so now I want to go into the design of the phone. So last time when I had the Redmagic 9, I got the white model. I forgot what it's called, but it's the light color model. And it was nice, and I figured, you know what, I need to switch it up a little bit. So that's why I decided to get the black one. Now what I like about the black one is that it's very minimalist. So if you don't want to stand out too much, you don't have to, right? Because, you know, sometimes having a white phone with, you know, all these design can be over the top, right? It screams out, I'm a gamer, right? This phone here still has this very black, sleek, professional look to it. I love that right here they put this brush stainless steel design, which has the Snapdragon 8 Elite logo. X right here, of course, is RGB. You can customize it to like 8 different colors. And X stands for number 10 as a numeral number, a Roman numeric number. This time around, they actually made the Redmagic logo glow, which is a nice addition. Here's the problem with this. Since we're talking about the LEDs right now, you're able to customize it for different things, which I'll show you guys a little bit later. I wish that they would have kept the shoulder triggers to light up to do your different stuff. So don't get me wrong, they still light up. I'll show you guys how this works later, how you can make these light up. But unfortunately, for notification or for, you know, whatever you decide to use it for, it's not gonna light up. Alright, so as far as the design, I love that they actually used, if you look here, this is an actual circuit board piece. So a lot of the times these phones here, they create them to be kind of see-through, so you can see the, you know, the rivets here. You can see a little bit of the internal, but a lot of it is fake. It's not actual real circuitry. Where this here, as you can see by the X, this is real circuit board, this is real soldering, this is real whatever you call this. So I like that you could actually see some of the internals on here as aesthetics. Let's see, so what am I gonna go over next? So since we're on the subject of the LEDs, I'm gonna show you guys the LED and customization of the phone. Here, I'm gonna put the case back. I like that the case keeps away fingerprints, so I do like that. But couple things that you can customize on here is the LEDs of the phone. So you go to themes and personalization, and then you go to light strip. So you could do different things. So right now, competitive atmosphere, this is for when you're gaming or anything. This is the kind of LEDs that you have. You know, of course, the fan has its own LED, and then you could have these here, right? What I like to do is I like to set my different notification. So when I get a notification, I like that I'm able to, here, I'm gonna show you guys. So you guys see how even when I have my phone laying down, I know that I have a notification on my phone because you could see the LEDs just pulsating, telling me, hey, you see it, I have it a different color and I have it blinking. So it's like, hey, you have a notification. Now I know that if my phone's facing down, that I got a notification. You know, there's other things you can custom to. You can do it that while you're on a phone call. I wanted to do a steady light up, and it looks like it's just red, so it looks nice. So again, a lot of cool customization that you can do with this phone, but something that's more of a niche thing, right? Alright, so one huge improvement that they did do with this phone is the front facing camera, guys. So they've done a really nice job updating the front facing camera. It's a lot better, it's a lot clearer. You know, these have under the display camera, right? So these phones here, let's go play some video games. I'll show you guys. It has an under display camera. So what happens is there's no obstructions when you're playing video games. For example, as you can see, this is a true full screen. There's no hole at the top here. And because of that, the front facing camera in the past has not been that great. I don't take a whole lot of selfies. I don't really need to. You know, especially if you're a gamer, you're somebody who likes to use your phone for gaming more than pictures. So as far as front facing camera, it's gotten a lot better. You know, Redmagic 9, you would still see a little bit of blur. It would get a lot hazy. With the 10, I don't see that difference at all. Now, as far as the rear camera, if you're planning on getting this phone to get a better rear camera, the rear camera is still the same, guys. It hasn't gotten any better. It's not terrible, but it hasn't gotten any better. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys another thing that I really like about this phone. And when I had the Redmagic 9, I had the 512 internal storage, 16 gigs of RAM, right? So what I like about Redmagic is if you need top of the line specs, you know, this one here comes with Android 15, so you get the latest version of Google. You also get 24 gigabytes of RAM, and you're able to add an extended RAM. So here, let me show you guys. So phone storage can be used as extended RAM when insufficient and the system runs more smoothly. So you're able to actually get 36 gigs of RAM on this phone, which is insane. This is unheard of. I don't think I've ever had a mobile device with that much RAM, right? But here, let's see the rest of the details. So it looks like I got a Snapdragon 8 Elite. It looks like that it has 750 milliamp battery, 1 terabyte of storage, currently using about 10 gigabytes. So more than enough space to do whatever you want. Of course, you have to get the model that has the 1 terabyte. Let's see. So another thing that I thought was a huge improvement from the Redmagic 9 to the 10 was the battery system. So right now I got 14% battery left and I have 6 hours remaining, right? So if I turn on power saver, I get another 3 hours, so it'll last me 9 hours. And ultra power saver, which is a mode that pretty much shuts off everything and just turns the phone into a calling device, I could get another 22 hours. But here, this is what I wanted to show you guys, something that's incredible. So I haven't charged this phone. As you guys can see, this is just the phone depleting, you know, the chart. I haven't charged it at all. If not, you would see it go up. But this is when I first unplugged it. It looks like that it was at, was that 10 o'clock? It looks like it was at 10 o'clock yesterday. 10 o'clock yesterday in the evening. Unplugged it. And now right here, it looks like that's going to be about 24 hours since then. And I'm left with 14%. But as you can see, I had 14 hours of screen off time. And I had 8 hours of screen. So I've been on my phone for almost 9 hours. You know, having the screen on, doing miscellaneous stuff, right? You guys right now, between using the 9 to the 10, the 10 definitely has more battery life. And I think it's not just because it has a bigger battery, but also because with the Snapdragon 8 Elite, it's a little bit more efficient on how it uses processors and things like that. So it is a huge improvement. I want to say that I get about 20% more battery on this phone than on the 10. Alright, so then last but not least, now the reason why I do a review like this, it's because I could do like all the other YouTubers, talk about the specs of the phone, but everybody's doing that. None of them are actually using the phone. None of them have actually daily drove a previous model. They just kind of use it for maybe a week, and then they give their take on it. I'm giving you guys my take as a gamer who uses this phone every day and who had the previous model before. So this is why I'm kind of just not really going over the specs and more going over the advantages of getting this phone. Now, one thing that I like is on this phone here, this here is the game space button, right? It's not really a button, it's a switch that goes back and forth. And in this model here, they made it customizable. So on here, I have it set up where when I switch it on, it turn on and off the flash. And of course, this works whether the phone is off or on or whatever, the screen is on and off is what I mean. So Redmagic has this feature where as long as you're on the home screen, you can shake it and it will turn on and off the camera, the flashlight, which is cool. But I like that even when the screen is off, see, this doesn't work when the screen is off, where this switch right here will work perfectly. Now, I'm sure that this is just a software update, and they could eventually implement that on the Redmagic 8 and Redmagic 9. But really here, it's still considered a new feature. You go into competitive key settings, and these are the different options. It's not like you can program anything to it. But one's for game space, which personally, I don't think you need game space. Game space is something that automatically turns on once you open the game. So you really don't need to go into game space to open up your games. Camera, open exit camera. I feel like a lot of people will use that feature. Personally, me, I don't use my camera that much, so that's why I didn't switch it to that. Open X flashlight, that's the one that I got. Voice recorder is pretty cool too, because if you like to take notes, if you're an artist, or if you're a musician, or if you're just a author, you have any ideas that pop up into your head, you could quickly pop on the voice recorder, leave a voice note, and then turn it off. And then the last one is pretty much what Apple uses, which is like the silent mute, different sound profile. So that's a cool thing that I like. And then last but not least, this is a feature that for us gamers, we use game space, right? So the way I turn on game space is I just have it loaded up here, and I click on here, and it turns on game space. Game space gives you, different features that you want to use with the phone, and it's kind of cool. A couple hidden features here is, first of all, you swipe up here, and Diablo mode. So Diablo mode puts it on a crazy gaming mode. As you can see, my CPU is at 4.3 gigahertz, with 1100 megahertz. There's a couple different things that I like. So the shoulder trigger buttons, once you have those activated, as you guys could see, they light up. One's red, one's blue. I'm sad that they got away with being able to use these LEDs here for notifications, because like I said, I use my LEDs to give me different notifications, and it's nice to be able to see the notifications from the side, or know that I have something going on. So again, they did not go away with the LEDs on the shoulder triggers. They just only light up if you have the shoulder triggers turned on. So if you have this option off, as you can see, that does not work. But I use these quite often. It's nice to have quick access to do different things. Couple different things is you could screen record. You can also control your refresh rate. So with the game that I play, The Wolf, it's usually 60 frames per second. Now that this display can go up to 144, as you can see, I could actually play the game at 70 frames per second. So if you guys run into any video games that are not giving you the right frame rates, make sure you up the refresh rate, and that might help you get maximum. So now overall, I'm going to tell you guys the truth. Is it worth getting this phone? Well, if you're coming from a different brand phone to the Redmagic, I say yes. You know, I think that if you're using Samsung, if you're using anything else, oh, by the way, the screen is a little bit brighter. So yeah, I'll give you guys the comparison. But if you're coming from a different carrier or a different model to Redmagic, I definitely think that you should go to Redmagic. Redmagic makes amazing phones. You know, batteries last forever. Speed on here is not an issue, and you know, it's even if you don't use your phone for gaming, just using it for regular tasks, it's really good, guys. Now, the question is it worth switching over to from the Redmagic 9 to the 10? So my honest opinion is no. Alright? So I had the Redmagic 9. The Redmagic 9 was awesome, you know. Battery is still incredible. It's still better than most devices on the market. And it's not a huge difference, you know, as far as this battery versus the other one. Right now, this phone here, the Redmagic 10, has a lot of glitches, bug software glitches. So my Redmagic 9 just ran so smooth. You know, and the problem is, right now this is so new that there's a lot of glitches. There was this calling glitch feature where when you were making phone calls, it would make you do real-time text phone calls. They finally fixed that, you know, but that's just one of many glitches. You know, sometimes I run into the issue where my navigation buttons, you know, these are the navigation buttons, these go away. There's just a little bit of different, it's not as fluent as the 9, which I'm hoping they're going to fix that. You know, it does heat up a little bit more than the Redmagic 9. The Redmagic 9 never really got too hot. This phone here can get a little bit hotter at times, and it's probably because of the faster software processing. But you know, speakers are literally the same. So you know, if you're looking forward to get they're good. Don't get me wrong, but they're loud. But it's not like these have improved or anything. They're still the same. Still has DTS sounds on there. You know, they say that the screen has gotten bigger, but to be honest, you can't really tell the difference. It's such a fraction that yeah, it's not a big deal. Now, personally, because I wanted to try the new phone and I love having the new phone, I got it. And I'm not discouraging you from getting it. I do think that it's worth getting it. Definitely, it's still a different kind of phone. But for the small improvement that it has, if you don't want to spend $1,000 and you rather save the money, definitely save the money, because the 9 is something that's gonna last you, you know, for another year, and maybe then you can get the 11, you know, versus spending $1,000 on something that's not really that much more. And that's really why I went with the 1 TB memories with the 24 gig, because if I went with the 16 with 512, it literally wouldn't have made any difference. But overall, I am satisfied with the phone. It did take them a long time for them to ship me the phone. You know, that's something that is kind of something they need to work on. And to be honest, I mean, it's probably because I ordered the 24 gig 1 TB, and since those aren't as popular, they probably didn't manufacture enough to send one out. But overall, I'm happy with the phone. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the link below, and I'll talk to you soon.